Yo guys, what's up and welcome back to Shy Guy Reviews. Today we're going to be looking at My Hero Academia, the next episode. This should have been a very big episode considering the number, but you know what? It's fine. The intro of this episode is probably the most important thing. If you guys wanted to skip most of the episode, you probably could do that with no repercussions, I'm not going to lie. But, we see a city's being destroyed. We see Shigaraki walk in, and all of a sudden a flower turns from red to purple, and I have no idea why at all. Okay, moving on. Shigaraki's laughing like a madman, covered in blood. Looks like he's been fighting, or maybe he dropped the building on himself. Who knows? And from there, we cut to the opening. So this is where things get really boring. You remember when Bakugo and Todoroki were fighting that villain, and it was like it ended, and we were all done with it. Well, it looks like the news isn't because they want to interview both Todoroki and Bakugo, and it turns out Bakugo does not know how to answer questions for the air. Todoroki has no emotion almost, and they use all of Todoroki's answers because they don't want to put Bakugo on air. Everybody's freaked out over Bakugo's answers, and Bakugo's mad at the end of it when he gets cut out of everything. But you know what? That's fine. Because moving on, we go back to Eyeglass Boy. Look See Boy, the one that said, "Oh, look, Endeavor's fighting for us. We all gotta look at him. He's a hero. Call him back to the 50th time that we've seen, Endeavor, probably one of the greatest moments when he fought the Nomu. But it's getting old. We need new material here. Give us something new to work with." I must admit, season's getting a little bit dry at this point, but I feel like this episode is mostly just them saving up. I feel like something very big is going to happen next episode, especially with that teaser at the beginning. If you guys are wondering if Shigaraki ever pops up throughout the rest of the episode, the answer is no. But we do get a little bit of a reintroduction to both Mount Lady and Midnight, where they're pretty much just there to show them how to deal with the public, and they're doing mock interviews. Todoroki is, normal, but I feel like they've removed his personality since he's entered back into My Hero Academia in the 5th season. He's a bit, how do you say, unaware and takes things very literal, doesn't understand many of the jokes or like things like you're gonna kill them. That doesn't mean you're literally gonna kill them. It just, I don't know if they're just exaggerating it for funniness. It didn't really hit for me. Let me know if it hit for you. But, he shows his quirks, his abilities, and explains, I don't want to use a specific move because that's my father's move. I'm nowhere near him yet. It's showing growth in his character. That's great to see. We also get to see everybody does their interviews. I think the most interesting ones at this point, which are the ones they give the most time to, are Bakugo, who just lashes out at everyone. He's like, "I don't have to do those. Look at me. You follow me. We get through." And Deku, who freezes up at the sight of a camera, but the second you mention All Might, he starts talking, and everybody wants him to shut up, including us. And he finally uses his ability. They're all demonstrating their abilities because nobody might know them, especially when they get on the news. And a little tiny whisk comes out of the little whip. And Deku's so freaking out. He's like, "Hell yeah, we did it!" And everybody else is like, "Yeah, calm down. That's not something you should be so happy about." From there, we actually cut into the principal talking to All Might. All Might is actually making a book full of all of the previous users and their abilities, is what it looks like, for Deku, which is great, and it's a great idea for the future, especially because when Deku passes it down, it'll be great to know how all of the One for All users think, feel, how they act, what their main goals were. This is information that I feel like Deku would really enjoy knowing, and it might actually also help him learn how to use these powers, which he does not have very many insights into anyone except for even All Might's master. Behind that, it's very hard to tell. We actually then cut to a meeting where the principal is sitting on Aizawa's in his actually his restricting bands. I forget what they call them. It looks like a scarf pretty much, and he's chilling, and pretty much they're just talking about how pretty much like the Department of Hero Safety and Health, I guess you can call them. They have a specific name, but it's not too important. It's the same people who employed Hawk to look into the team of villains has actually instructed UA to resume the work training, so pretty much on the job training for these new upcoming heroes. And they're all wondering, and they're like, if they're not telling us why, it must be dealing with the League of Villains. They're hiding something. And you know what? They're right. So from there, we have the Christmas party, what the episode is named off of. Everybody does their thing. The main thing during this episode is that we find out what's going to happen with all the work studies, because Deku, Centipede Man, who's taking over for not Midnight, Hawkeye, I think so. Hawkeye, no, nope, 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 nope. All Might's Looker. What's his name? He was so cool. I forget his name though. Sorry, man. Uh, you know, Dude's out of commission after the fight with the whole gang and everything. And Centipede Man's taking over, but the work's kind of actually catching up to them because they're not used to doing all this work. Normally, Hawkeye. Is it Hawkeye? Oh, I gotta remember this now. Sir Night Eye. That's why I kept saying Hawkeye. So Night Eye was really good with all that kind of stuff with the paperwork and all that kind of thing. So they're really backed up, and they pretty much declined Deku. And All Might's master, the one that always calls him Toshinari, the one that bounces around, he's like super short. He also called out because he's busy. Highlights of the Christmas party: Mina trying to sneak a little costume onto Bakugo, and Bakugo screaming at her multiple times. We actually then get a highlight back to Bakugo's past when he was with Best Jeanist, and all of Bakugo's names included the word murder, so they got rejected. Best Jeanist is like, what did you want to be named as? He's like, they all got rejected, and blah blah murder, damnation murder, blah 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 blah. All those banned words, and he's like, once we finish, I want you to come back here and tell me what you think then. And he's thinking about it. Clearly it made an impact on him, and you know, Best Jeanist is out of commission too after that whole fight with One for All. We then get an introducing back to the little horn girl with the powers that can reverse time on Deku pretty much, and she's cool. They're just fawning over her for like a solid minute, whatever, and everybody switches their gifts. I think the best part was, I believe it was Tokoyami brought a giant ass blade, and Mina gets the little girl gets the blade, and that's probably the best part of that. But the really important thing here is that Todoroki actually offers to Bakugo, who is now wearing the Santa jacket, meaning Mina won, because Mina always wins, to come with him and, work study with the number one hero, Endeavor, which is his father. And, they're like, what? Bakugo's freaking out, and Deku's like, oh my god. The episode preview does spoil it, actually. We will be seeing them. So next episode, we're actually going to see that. And you know what? I'm really excited to see what happens. I'm wondering what Endeavor is like. We've only seen Endeavor mostly interact with Deku right before the tournament. Deku very clearly looks, everybody looks up to him. Everybody knows he's the number one hero and he deserves it. But, a lot of these interactions are things we've never seen, so it's going to be really interesting to see. So like I said, this episode was actually very short in terms of amount of content. I think the most important thing was probably the beginning. And I don't know what the deal is with the flower turning from red to purple. Shigaraki's going mad and I love it. So let me know what you guys think. Clearly there's something really big coming on in My Hero, and I can't wait for the next episode, maybe even the next season when this starts really taking off. I'm sure they'll start taking off before that, but I can only assume it's just gonna delve into madness at this point. Shigaraki's probably one of the most interesting characters left. Definitely not, yeah, 1A is okay. I'm a 1B fan now. That's all I'm gonna say. But you know what, guys? Have a great day. Don't die. Remember, that's bad for your health. And you know what? I'll see you next time in my next episode review of My Hero Academia. And if you're still watching, make sure you guys watch Record of Ragnarok. It's pretty badly animated, but it's still probably one of the best series out there. And it got removed. So if you want to watch a removed series, watch that one. Have a great day, guys.